Hey everyone, this is Patrick and it is time for another edition of Heavy Therapy. In this video, I'm going to go over the Record Store Day vinyl that I picked up. Funny story is, on Record Store Day, I was kind of out doing some errands and I wasn't planning on going to the record store, but I pulled up just to see if there was a long line. It was a couple hours after the store had opened and the line was ridiculous. It was going to take about 3 hours to get through that line. I didn't really have too many that I needed or wanted that badly, and I was not going to stand in line, so I did not. Sunday was out with my girlfriend and we decided to go record store shopping, and that was fun. So most of what I wanted was still sitting there the next day. One item was not, and I ordered that online, so I got them all in, so it's time to show you what I decided to pick up for Record Store Day. My general sort of reading websites here and there, watching videos here and there, my general understanding of Record Store Day is that this year is considered a good year. Limited runs, making it a bit more, worth your time if you do stand in line to pick up some releases. I've never participated in Record Store Day. I'm not interested in it, in general, except insofar as I am interested in sort of record stores, getting sales, and I love physical media. I love music. So if it's helping, I like it. If it's hurting somehow, then I don't like it. But I bought some pickups this time, and I'm here to show you. And they're not all metal, but I'm going to start with showing you my metal releases, then a rock release, hip hop, and then a couple of jazz pickups as well. Let's start with Deicide, Once Upon the Cross. Deicide is a band that every day I get into more and more. Glenn Benton's vocals for me are always hard to get into, but if you want raw, no frills, hardcore death metal, that's Deicide. Formed in 1989, Tampa, Florida. This is their third LP. Believe this is either the first time it's out on LP by itself. It was out in a box set last year, or maybe it's been out a few times, but I know it's not been out very much, especially here in the US. Blasphemous cover there, and lyrics on the back, and slowly getting into more and more Deicide. They don't stray too far from what they originally did. Their first album is the catchiest and my favorite. Once Upon the Cross came out in 1995. 9 tracks, 28 minutes of music, and let's take a look at the variant. It is this pretty cool blotted variant, and just pretty cool pickup. Maybe I'll see if I can tell you how limited they were. If I can pull up the details quickly enough. So this particular Deicide Record Store Day LP was there's 2,500 pressed copies, and there you go. Next up is another metal pickup, and this one was one that I definitely knew I wanted. I didn't even see it on the list when I first looked at it a couple months ago. Killer release. This is Terrorizer with World Downfall. As you see, the cover art was redrawn by artist Wayne Nichols, so the original version has the Terrorizer up there, and then World Downfall as well. I wish they would have retained that, but I get it. This is a drawing of the original cover, was a collage, so it's a pretty cool touch. But yeah, it's rare that I'm going to like an alternative cover over the original release. The original release is how it came out, and I like to pick up that if I can. But hey, this is a pretty cool release. So Pete on drums, David on guitar and vocals, Oscar Garcia on vocals, and Jesse Pintata on lead guitar. Rest in peace, Jesse. Man, produced by David Vincent as well, engineered by Scott Burns in Tampa, Florida. 1989. This is grindcore. Maybe death grind if you think about the vocal approach from David. Pretty cool mint. But these musicians here, I mean, every time I listen to this album, I'm reminded how much Pete's speed still holds up. Not too many drummers are as fast as Pete Sandoval to this day. And of course, we're into extreme metal genres, but you know, not everything from 87, 89 sounds extreme to modern 2025 ears. Terrorize or World Downfall still sounds like an extreme grindcore record, hard to listen to if you're not into grindcore. It's a tough genre to get into. 16 tracks, about 39 minutes of music. The riffs, I love the riffs on this album. The drums, the drums are some of my favorite drum performance on Wax, period. Yeah, cool pickup. And yeah, these musicians, they basically, you know, almost created two subgenres of music in a couple of years, right? Morbid Angel, I mean, David Vincent on bass and vocals here. Morbid Angel, I mean, they are what you think of when you hear death metal, right? Tremolo. You think of Morbid Angel. And then grindcore, I mean, you think of Napalm Death, you think of Terrorizer, you think of Repulsion. One of my favorite classic grindcore albums. One of my favorite grindcore albums right here. Amazing. So that was cool to pick up. Those were my metal pickups. So if you only care about metal, peace out. If you want to see my other pickups, here we go. This is Chevelle's Point Number One. Chevelle is a hard rock band from Chicago, and they were a band I got into when I was about 14, 15 years old. And this is their debut album, 1999. Recorded by Steve Albini. And my favorite tracks on here are going to be Point Number One, Skeptic, Long, and Pier. Yeah, just one of the few hard rock radio bands that I think that I like, really. Chevelle, and this album is more raw, less produced. The vinyl sounds great. Guitars really sound punchy. The bass comes in. Yeah, I was surprised at how good this sounds. I haven't listened to this album in years, but I don't remember it sounding like this exactly, just, you know, an MP3 file, CD back in the day. So, cool pickup. Story about this release, though, is the band themselves don't necessarily support the release because they don't get any money from their physical sales. They had no idea that it was even coming out until in an interview, Sam, the drummer, learned about it. So Chevelle has not been treated well by any of their labels, from my understanding. Pretty cool color in color. Forgot what they called it. Lemonade, lime. Cool though. I definitely like the variant. Good album. Yeah. If you don't like what Chevelle became, but you like sort of just straightforward raw guitar, helmet influence, noisy, you know, it's sort of a undertow early Tool. Check out Chevelle's Point Number One, 1999. It's about 11 tracks. I don't know how long it is, but 30, 36, 38 minutes of music most likely. That's my only rock pickup. So up next is a cool release that I didn't anticipate buying, but I did anyway, and I did not expect to see it, and it was cool. And let me tell you the story about this. So this is a hip-hop release. This is Wu-Tang and Mathematics, Black Samson, the Bastard Swordsman. And every single one of these releases, every single one of these variants are one-of-one copies because of this technology that they used. It's not AI, but it's this mixed print. So every single copy is a one-of-one. There's just variations on the cover, and some of the variations are quite different. And then there's let me show you this release. So you have 4,000 copies. They're all numbered. Every one is a one-of-one. And so let me show you my version. Very nicely done. Yeah, so there's a lot that could be different. My store had about 10 to 12 copies of these left on Sunday. some of them did not have fire. You know, different color schemes, different no chain, different color on the chain on the guy, on the swordsman. Sometimes he had a sword. Sometimes he had other weapons. The background's different. The color's different. Here's what mine opens up into. The back is a pretty cool praying mantis again. Oh, sorry, out of 5,000, not 4,000. So mine is 1703 of 5,000. Yeah, so there's two that I was thinking about getting. This was the one that won out, mostly because I just really love that praying mantis, love the fire, love the overall aesthetic. The inside of the gatefold is also different in all 5,000. Yeah, you get 12 tracks. Track 1 is an intro, but you get every living member of Wu-Tang Clan. Plus you get some features like U-God, Kool G Rap, Benny the Butcher, 38 Spesh, Willie the Kid, RJ Payne. Nicole Buss is a sort of soulful vocalist. She's on here a couple times. So yeah, musically, is this good? Let me say, this is a good release. I've enjoyed the 2 times I listened to it so far. Some songs are better than others, of course. My favorite songs are going to be, so side C is my favorite side out of the 4 sides. Warriors 2 Cooley High featuring Benny the Butcher and Method Man. Method Man has my favorite verse on this track and on this album. Method Man is on here a couple times, by the way, 3 times it looks like. Let's Do It Again featuring RJ Payne, 38 Spesh, Willie the Kid, and the RZA is probably my second favorite song. But Mathematics brings super old school sounding hip hop production, and it's just done very well. Again, not a perfect album. Some of the verses could have been better. Some of the productions isn't my favorite productions I've ever heard, but it definitely is. This is not a throwaway release, in case you were wondering. This is good fun listen. So it also came with a poster, which again, so some album covers look like that. I believe the posters are also different in every release. So there is side A. So it's a 2 LP set, 45 RPM, and yeah, the vinyl variants are different. I don't know if they're different in every single one, but you know what I mean. Black, white, I've seen all the different colors, marbled, some of them aren't marbled. So yeah, pretty cool. This is the other LP, blue. And it also came with a OB. So yeah, that was the cool Wu-Tang Clan release that I picked up. All of them are 1-of-1s. It's a cool album. Good listen. Let's move on to jazz. So jazz is not a genre that I know a lot about. I always want to get more into it very slowly. I'm not in a rush. Just eventually I will get into jazz more and more. Picked up this book, Jazz the American Theme Song, as well at one of my local shops. So just patiently, slowly getting into jazz music. There were 2 jazz releases that interested me on Record Store Day. This is Mulligan meets Monk. It's Gary Mulligan and Thelonious Monk. Mulligan is a saxophonist. He plays baritone sax on this, and Monk is a pianist. And it also features Wilbur Bear on bass and Shadow Wilson on drums. This was recorded across 2 days in 1957. I like when there's 2 featured musicians to sort of listen to. My ears are always drawn to drums, even if the drummer isn't, the main feature. But it's around midnight. Track 1 is great. Side 2, track 1 on side 2 decidedly is great. But yeah, love love this release. Cool pickup. And I'm not sure if I was surprised that this was still there, but this is pretty top of my list of hoping that I was able to find it, and I was able to find it. Black LP, has the old original Riverside stickers, and yeah. Happy to pick this one up. Kind of like a rough, hard cardboard, which also kind of reminds you of, probably how it came out when it originally came out. I'm not going to talk about the audio quality version, audio file or whatever, but this is a very good cut, very good listen, and yeah. Mulligan Meets Monk was my first of 2 jazz pickups. Finally, another jazz pickup. This one was a new release to me. I haven't heard of it before, but when I was going through the list of jazz, I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's listen to this one and see if I liked it. And I did like it. Don't know much about him at all. This is Nathan Davis with Happy Girl. AAA analog cut release. And Nathan Davis plays tenor saxophone, also soprano saxophone, and he plays flute on track 1. And yeah, surprisingly, I was sitting here listening to it with my girlfriend, and she was like, man, jazz flute, that's gonna be hard. And she was actually impressed. She's like, wow, there's one good jazz flute song I've ever heard, and it's this one by Nathan Davis, and he only plays it on 1 track. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, just a really good release. Side 2, Evolution, that song is really, really strong. Other musicians on here: Woody Shaw does trumpet, Larry Young piano, Jimmy Wood bass, and Billy Brooks on drums. Yeah, don't have much to say about as far as jazz. I'm getting into it slowly. I've enjoyed what I picked up. Great sounding stuff here. Trying to remember what year this came out. 1965 it was recorded. And yeah, Nathan Davis was born in Kansas City. Great music here, about 36 minutes of music, which I appreciate for jazz releases. Yeah, these were my pickups from Record Store Day. What did you guys all pick up? I know there was a lot of metal to pick up. These were the ones that I really wanted. Let me know if you guys picked up anything, what you think in general about Record Store Day, what have you been listening to, and so forth. Talk to you all in the comments. Thank you for watching. As always, remember to stay heavy, and talk to you later. Bye.